It's Sunday. It's past 9 o'clock. You know what that means. This is the Fort Valley Boys coming at you live on Facebook and on our Fort Valley Boys Facebook page. We are streaming through that page as well. So look how we doing some things now. We trying to get some sponsors, but of course we're also sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. You know who else is another sponsor? He was just at homecoming. BuyANiceShirt.com. From all your HBCU needs to panhandling at 9. If you're part of the Divine Nine, get your stuff at buyANiceShirt.com. Great prices, great quality products. BuyANiceShirt.com. Oh, guess what? It's Sunday. This means we drinking Hennessy and Coke. We're sponsored by Hennessy and Coke, the dark liquor. So we are live and ready to go on Sunday. I got my guys with me, Tony Arnold, Big Straw Anderson. Of course, I am Fabian Vicks. I am your host and moderator. Guys, what is up?
What's up? What's up, fellas? What's up?
Man, it was a great weekend. Fort Valley had their homecoming weekend. Alabama A&M had their homecoming weekend. So it's been a great weekend, man. It's been a great weekend.
Amen to that.
Just a programming note. I know we're a year in advance, but the Fort Valley Boys podcast is planning on going live from homecoming. So if you want to see the tomfoolery we want to do in person, right? besides reminiscing on home Fort Valley about last 20, 30 years with us, don't worry, we'll be there next year. We're planning on it. If you'd like to sponsor some savings or sponsor some equipment, we're all for that. We'll take all the charity in the world. We would not deny it. So this podcast, because Sundays we're gonna say that for social justice, movies, other hot topics in sports, and we'll leave everything else during the week. And I hope you guys watch it and enjoy what we're doing and appreciate the things that's going on right now. So this episode, we're doing a movie flashback, one of the blackest movies you've ever seen in your life, Harlem Nights. So if we do movies, we're gonna do black movies or black centric movies like Black Panther, of course, Harlem Nights, Coming to America, The Last Boy Scout, stuff like that. Movies like that we'll
Yes,
review and has
yes.
black centric people on it. We want to make sure that we give the people what they want, like my boy Jalen Rose say, give the people what they want. So so I'm gonna start with Big Straw and then you, Tony. Tell us uh, what what made Hollow Knights as a classic for us right now. It's a cult classic. It's 32 years old. What made it a rewatchable movie for the black community?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, for the black community at the time that it came out, because it came out in the 80s, you had to look at everything that it encompassed, meaning that um at that time you had the old heads. You had Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and then you had the new guy at that time, the new guy on the block, the new hotness, Eddie Murphy. Um, and if you had all of them in one picture, you had Sanford and Son, JoJo Dancer, and Prince Hakeem in the same movie. Oh my goodness, you'd be remiss if you didn't see it. And so for the black community, you were embracing everything that it was about comedy, the new school and the old school. And I mean, think about this too. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall had just made Coming to America. He had been out for a minute. And
Mm-hmm.
then you come right back behind that with another Eddie Murphy production of Harlem Nights with all these legends in it. Oh, you had me. And I was young, but you had me because I knew Sanford and Son, and I knew Richard Stir Crazy, and I knew Coming to America. So you had.
Tony, go ahead and jump in there. Tell us. I mean, we're all about the same age, so we're gonna have about the same, almost something. You might have something different. What about you?
Nah, actually, I'm pretty much on the same page, saying as Ryan, man. Um, it was definitely big for the culture. Uh, you know, Eddie Murphy taking the time to get all the get all the heavyweights together, old and new, pay homage to the people that paved the way for what he was doing and his craft. So it was definitely huge seeing Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, and Richard Pryor, on the same screen, and for him to write it and put it together, it was definitely dope, man. And it was funny. It was no, it's not just enough to do all that, right? And put it all together, but it was funny, man. It was funny as hell. It was a dope movie. As you said, man, 32, years later, man, still a classic. Still watch it. Whenever it's on, it's
Yeah.
must stop and sit down and see what's going on with it, man. It's really, stood the test of time, man. It's really a dope movie.
Now that's one of the movies, Tony. That's one of the movies. I can't watch it on TNT. I
No,
can't
yeah,
watch it
yeah,
on TBS. I
yeah,
No,
got
no,
to
no.
watch it on HBO or DVD because
yeah,
I mean it's moments in that all the time. There are moments in that and language. The language fits the movie, and if
yeah.
you don't have the language, it's not as funny. So you
No,
got to watch it on a premium channel, quote
yeah.
unquote, like we used to do in the old school premium channel.
No, you're
Or
right. I hate watching certain movies that's been edited for TV, man.
yeah,
No, I totally agree. Totally agree.
Let's get to a quick. That's that. None of my. I thought it was has a comments. That was me tagging some folks to try to pick up the show. We got 3 people viewing it. Some folks probably going to watch it a little bit later. But for me, as watching this movie when I was before, let's see, 89, 90, I was barely 13 years old. Watching it, went to the movies with my parents to watch it. That was
Oh, you went
they
to the
took.
movie with you went to the movie with your parents to watch it?
Oh, they took us to see Coming to America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We
Okay.
go. So the one line I'm thinking like they ain't realize like your real penis is clean, your highness. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So they took us to see anything with them because I mean, I love that's one of the reasons why I love movies. Me and my dad used to. I remember one time before I had to go to a trip. I know we're getting off topic just a tad bit. I mean, before I had to go to Orlando for a band trip or whatever. We went to see Die Hard with a Vengeance. Me and him go watch a movie. Went Die Hard with a Vengeance. Went to see Independence Day, Air Force One, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Me and him,
Yeah.
just me and him watch movies and stuff. I'm like,
Me and my dad, you do that too.
but that movie right there, just the blackity black. And a couple folks y'all didn't even mention. You didn't mention Robin Harris,
no, you
Yeah,
didn't
I
mention
know.
Robert
Yeah.
Harris. You didn't mention
Yeah.
Charlie
some
Murphy,
some of the
Charlie
notes,
Murphy.
Charlie Murphy, and some of the
Arsenio
Flathead.
folks who
Hall.
don't realize it's in there. Like what's my guy Nunez, Biscuit that plays in Life. He's in
Yeah,
there as one of Arsenio Hall's gang. Arsenio Hall, uh,
Yeah.
Tommy,
Yeah.
Michael Ford plays in Martin is in there.
hmm
Jasmine Guy from at that time
Yeah,
she was still
that's what I was
playing
getting ready to
stuff.
say. Just yes,
Yeah,
different
she
Jasmine
played
world.
Guy was
playing stuff.
yes. Yes. Yes.
So
And then you
just
can't have that movie without Della Reese. You can't have that movie
Oh
without
yeah.
Della.
Not
I'm
without Layla
in charge
Rashawn.
of the girls. I am in charge of the girls.
That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie with Layla Rashawn. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I ain't coming home no more. I'm saying for real.
I
That's one of my
Leah,
favorite scenes, bro.
Leah Rashad. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there are so many. Eddie, when he put that together, I really think that when Eddie put that together, it was one of them things where he was starting careers. He was starting careers at that time. And you look back and okay, you watch Martin. Oh, they go Michael Ford. Okay, what was he in? Oh, he was in Coming to America. Yeah, okay. Oh, Leah Rashawn. Waiting to exhale. Oh, she was in that's sunshine. That's
Mhm.
sunshine. And it brings it all back, man. It brings it all back. But he was starting careers, man.
Eddie
And
Murphy, that dude, man.
yeah,
Eddie
he
Murphy is
was
really
always
that
that
dude,
dude.
man. He's really that dude. For real. Like when you look back on the run that he had back in the mid '80s to I say all the way through, the '90s, man. No, he was that dude, man. He really was that dude. Classic after classic after classic. Anything he touched, dude. Everything he touched. And like you said, started a lot of careers and jumped
Yep.
off a lot of careers for a lot of people, man.
Yep. Sure did.
So, want to get to some, of course, some memorable scenes. Tony brought up the scene where,
I
Quick,
ain't coming home no more.
but that one,
Put your mama on the phone.
no,
For
hey,
real.
they're Richie. I just want you to know I ain't never come home. All right, yeah. If that's a cold blooded stuff right there. That was
Boy, I'm
That's
trying to tell you. That's some stuff I don't want, bro. Made me call home and say I ain't coming to the house no more. To my wife and kids. No, I don't want none of that. None of that.
So
Just have to
let's get into
imagine that. Just have to imagine.
doesn't matter. Red Fox do like this.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones when he was without the glasses. When he was without the glasses, that's one of my favorite scenes. The point is 6. What you mean the point is 6? Oh, you blind MF? And he go bust out with, ain't gonna be too many more MFers. And he finally get his glasses, and Richard Pryor said, "Benny, why you ain't got your glasses on?" He said, "How's it going?" "Oh, sugar, it's going good. It's going real good, sugar. I'm getting complaints. You're probably getting complaints from these suckers losing their money. That's what it is. That's where you're getting complaints from. What the glasses I bought you?" I'm Benny Snake Eyes Wilson. I've been doing this bit for
40 years. I can call the dice before they even fall. I rewound that joke recently if I can remember that.
Yeah, I know, right?
I
Tell you watch that thing today.
Yeah, I watched it a couple hours ago. I'm gonna get some scenes, and I want just reminiscing with me. We got, of course, at the beginning of the movie, Quick going against Wells from Richard character, and not these jokes. Hey, they look. Still don't crack. Say that black crack. These jokers look good. Then I'll be look out. They don't look. And what they 30 years is the first thing. Say that. I'm going to that scene when you Quick go get where for Richard Pryor Sugar and Snap trying to stop.
Hey, hold on. You got a little distortion or something going on. I don't know. You hear that, Ryan?
Yeah, I hear. I thought I could understand him, but the last thing I heard you say Richard Pryor character was going somewhere.
Can you hear me a little bit now?
It's still the same. You sound like you're on auto-tune, man.
T-Pain.
I know it.
Is that better right there?
Yeah, that's it there. That's it there.
Oh God, I had to take my AirPods out. Take my AirPods out. So I don't know why Siri's trying to act up. But look, Young Quick get the cigarettes for Richard, and then
here's what I found.
Then Snaggletooth try to stab Sugar, and then in the head. He gonna kill her. Where your dad at? My father dead. Where your mama at? My mama dead too.
Did you kill him?
Did you kill him? So that's one scene. Next scene, of course, comes about 15 minutes after that, when they count out the money, and Eddie accused Della Reese of stealing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. $200.
How the hell y'all bet down? I only got $200. What you trying to say? Quick?
I'm just saying, you or somebody else got their math wrong.
Then go out down into that back alley.
Hey man.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey boy, she would hit that motherfucker with them 2-3 pieces, dog. For real. She was, hey, And then, cause he didn't want to, then he didn't want to fight her at first. Boy, you bringing it back now, Faye. He didn't want to fight her at first.
No, he didn't. Like, who
Boy,
bet?
he hit her
Who bet she?
hey, she hit him with that 2-3 P, dude. He was like, next thing you know, he caught her. She was like, oh shit. That's what got her warmed up, boy. She was ready to goddamn whoop his ass then, dude.
Come on. Come on.
That's how I like it.
Hold on. Before we get going, let's get to the chat box. Tick said the car game with the Snacker 2 dude. With Silent Robot, we got that fit. Then Anatole Cloud just want to be my cousin. He just want to be a hater. 57-3. You want to hit people with garbage cans. Oh, my bad. Here we go. My bad, Anatole. 57-3. 57-3. That's all I'm gonna say. 57-3. You know what I'm talking about. 57-3. Your first game of the year. But that's neither here nor there. We got the same record too. So just saying. Another scene we're coming up with. When Eddie sees Tommy Smalls dead, then he's driving off, and Arsenio Hall makes a cameo in there.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this. He runs his car to him, jumps into the flower shop, and the gun say, "Get out of here quick!" And New Year's character.
What the hell you doing? Man, put that shit down.
Shoot that little more. Shoot that little more. Man, of course, the scene where they're Ray, they're Quick and Ray. They're talking about they need to put somebody on Richie Bentone and Delarisa. I got a girl so good you could throw it up in the air, turns to sunshine.
Miss Sunshine.
And then Ray Charles character just like that.
We talk about these scenes and what it does for the Black community, man. Believe it or not, this movie wasn't widely received. It wasn't received like Coming to America was received.
Because this is way too black. This is blacker than black.
Yeah, this was a blacker film. This is one of our films. And even though it went to the movie theater, I remember going to the grocery store and seeing the National Enquirer. And it's all them tabloids back then. Your mama go to the grocery store, they gonna have a copy of it. Boy, and that was one of the things where they talking about Jasmine Guy and Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about that for a while, but it had to be, man, it touched somebody for it to not be widely received, but it touched somebody. They're gonna put in a National Enquirer.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Oh yeah, that's my next another scene I'm pulling up. Reverend Tick, when they lock up old boy in the vault. Hey, just
he was in there doing that shit too.
He was mad. He was big mad too. Think about it. These black men caught you slipping, put you in the vault. Nobody ain't gonna find you, and then you think like, how can I stay alive?
Yeah, I'm
like, man. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, that was funny too. But another underrated scene before we move on, before I get y'all vote for y'all best scene, was when Sugar Ray goes into the police station, tries to bail out everybody that got locked up at his after hour joint. They looked at him crazy. Like, what did the color man coming in here for? He must be crazy. He said, that's 125 folks. That's $7,500.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a receipt. and then Della Reese and her character like, kiss my entire ass. I think that's about her only line she said in the movie besides I'm in charge of the girls. I am in charge of the girls. And kiss her entire ass. I think that's her lines. I think those should have been trademarked for some t-shirts.
It should have been. It's not too late.
It's not.
Not too late.
So anybody that's at the HBCU that's in charge of the dancing dolls, get you a t-shirt that says I'm in charge of the girls. I'm gonna trademark that shit. Pay me. I'm gonna get that trademark so I'm gonna get some royalties on that.
This is what we're gonna do, Faye. This is what we'll do. We will put that. It'll be the same logo, but we'll put it in different colors for every HBCU. We'll do it that way.
And sell them. We'll make a killing on that.
Oh yeah.
Now, are there any other scenes that you want to add to this? Because I think we got some good ones there. Anything you want to add to that before we decide which one is probably the best scene out the whole movie?
So one of it's a very underrated scene. But Richard Pryor's in the bed with I forget the lady's name, but she was his girlfriend. And they in there, and she tells him, she said, we gonna F all night long. And he said, why don't we just do it one time real good?
And fall to a deep, like, coma sleep.
That one always stuck with me because he convinced her that he ain't built for this right now. He's a lot going on. I ain't built for this right now. Oh man,
Belinda Tolbert is her actual name.
Okay.
Belinda Tolbert, her character name was Annie. She was also on the Jeffersons, if you realize, Linus's wife.
Okay, yeah. I recognize her. Yeah. I recognize her.
Yeah. Another scene I like when shout out to my boy Danny Aiello. I like Danny, man. You're cool. You're a cool white dude, man. I like this. I like the scene. I like this. Yeah, I like the scene when he popped up at the house. When he popped up at the house, and he was just like, oh, I thought you told me you sold candy. You know what I'm saying? Richard Pryor was like, for real. That was a real dope scene, man. That was my boy.
We've talked about this movie for a good 20 minutes now, but yet nobody has talked about the champ, Jack Jenkins.
Yeah. Sugar.
Richard Pryor face with priceless, boy, when he be like
ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
Come to tonight. I'm knocking somebody the F out.
Hey, I'm not a mother.
I think what he say, you feel me, you hear me, whatever. He was like, now I do.
Yeah. Another crazy thing about another character, we didn't realize that Charlie and Eddie Murphy's uncle was in the movie, Uncle Ray Murphy.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna share a screen, and this share is brought to you by Hennessy and Coke. Expect the unexpected. So let's see, where is it at? I'm gonna pull a picture up for him. Can y'all see it?
No, I can't see it.
Hold on. Still can't see it because I checked. Not yet. I don't know what. Okay, but let's see. One of the in the scene with Robin Harris and the other bald headed guy.
Yeah.
Ella Reese, and then the back alley doing like this when he said, I'm a shooter, and he didn't know. The bald headed one next to Robin Harris, that's Eddie's and Charlie's uncle.
So funny story. I'm a movie guy. I'm a comic historian. Funny thing, they talk about in Delirious. Eddie talks about his uncle. I think it's the same one that wants to do the barbecue. He wants to be in charge of the barbecue, so he comes in. Oh, what you going to do, Charlie? What you going to that lighter fluid? No, you got to put some kerosene on it. Put some kerosene on it. Hold on. You got it ready. You ready? You ready for the barbecue? We're gonna eat. We're gonna eat, y'all. All right, we're gonna eat. All right. Now that's a fire. When you talk about that particular part, that's hilarious. There he is. There it is. Okay. So
Right
which
here.
one?
Oh,
Right
which
there.
one? Him?
Right
That's
there.
his uncle?
Yes, uncle.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's Charlie Murphy right there. That's Eddie right there. There's Richard.
I want to say I
Richard,
seen him. I want to say I done seen him in something else though.
Yeah, another 48 hours coming to America.
Okay.
Okay,
Man, that's dope.
he was there with Eddie the whole time. Then he was
Man,
there
that's
with
dope.
Eddie the whole
Man,
time.
that's dope. I
Yeah,
love that, man.
that is dope. That is dope.
Jamal Hall, what's up, man? You just got married, man. Congratulations. Congratulations, Wildcat. You got married during homecoming. So, hey, congratulations, man. Enjoy married life. So out of those
Yeah.
scenes, go ahead, Tony.
No, I was just saying the same thing, man. Following up with you, man. Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
So out of those scenes we just named, we done named about 37 scenes, about
Yeah.
5 minutes. So if we had to collectively vote on a scene, which one is probably your most memorable scene out of those we just named?
I got this. I'm gonna put my vote in for the fight scene between Della Reese and Eddie Murphy. That scene right there. There are some people that can name. I pretty much can name the movie word for word, but there are some people that's all they watch. They'll fast forward to that particular scene, watch that scene, get their laugh, and then they'll they'll turn the rest of the movie off. But that scene right there, Della Reese and Eddie Murphy, is hilarious. It's timeless.
Now, one little known black history fact in this movie contains 313 curse words in it. 313. 313. That's all.
You counting them?
Yeah, I counted them once. When I remember watching it, I remember that number because I'm like, God, dog, 313. Yeah.
Shout out to our research department and our producers for coming up with these crazy ass stats.
Hey, you gotta be relevant somehow. Man, gotta be relevant. But why would somebody want some fat, nasty, greasy, stinking 12 sandwich eating? We talked about scenes. We talked about the cultural relevance. I don't think I got to chime in on the cultural relevance, but I think I'm sending tidbits here and there. Think about it. I want to say it was Eddie Murphy production. So, what does that tell you? Eddie Murphy put up his own money for this movie.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood, think about it, this is early 90s, late 80s, early 90s when the movie came out. Coming to America, 87. 87, we had Beverly Hills Cop 2. Then this movie is 89, 90. Right into where black television starting to get some traction with Cosby Show is the number one sitcom in America. Come on, Different World was taking different strides because we'll talk about that show. That's one show I want to discuss on here as far as the relevance of.
That's a good one.
But I ain't gonna just give away too much.
That?
Different World. But
oh yeah.
I don't want to give away too much. We're gonna talk about with that, especially how season 2 was totally different than season 1. I could do a whole paper on that. But
season one
got turned upside down on his head.
Yeah.
Got turned upside down on his head, and it was still dope.
Yeah. Debbie Allen. We'll talk. Matter of fact, we could do that off memory, so we can talk about that next week then. But just like I said, this is the blackest movie you could ever think of besides maybe Black Panther. Black Panther was the blackest movie. This is the blackest movie right here because you had all the who's of blackness.
Yes.
In one movie. This thing about the set when you had, like you said, Red Fox, Robert Harris, who just came off of House Party.
Right.
Just came off of House Party. Folks don't realize this. Charlie Murphy, where his brother is trying to put him on. Della Reese, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. You got a young Mekhi Ford. You got of course Layla Rashawn. You got Nunez. You got Senior Hall. Of course, his show was out, so he had
Hmm.
our Senior Hall shows. Even though it lasted 4 years, it should have lasted longer, but he was. We'll get that's something for another day. And you got Jasmine Guy, of course.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and Jenkins, the boxer. Just think about all that blackness right now in one scene. That right there made me feel proud to be black right there. I don't know
Well,
about
well,
y'all.
well, let's see. Let's take it a step further. Let's take it a step further. Ethnicity. There were white people in there, but
Hmm.
Italian Americans. They ain't. I mean, there were a lot of Italian Americans. It wasn't all just white. It wasn't just white. You had Danny Aiello. I forget what's the boss's name. The guy that was
Michael Lerner, Bugsy Calhoun,
yeah, the guy that played Bugsy Calhoun. I mean,
Vic
these are people.
Calizos, Richie Vento.
Man, I'm just saying these are people. They next time you probably see them again is Goodfellas. I'm just,
Yeah.
but I mean, they were. It wasn't. I think the only two really white people that were in there were those two cops that they end up paying off so they could get out of town. I think
Hmm.
they may have been the only
Hmm.
two, but I think everybody else was Italian American or African American in that movie, and that's just a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Nowadays, it's happening more because of the way the melting pot has created it, but back then, nah, that's groundbreaking back then in the 80s.
It is, but I guess I was just more so proud of and just astonished at the fact that Eddie Murphy was the one who put it together, did the screenplay and directed it. That wasn't the first time something like that took place, but it definitely was something that was not the norm and
Mm-hmm.
was major back then in the 80s, man. Like you say, to put up his own money, uh, write the screenplay of it, and to get behind the scenes and direct it. The behind the scenes is where the power lies, man. We all know that now.
Yep.
On the screen, you got the people pulling the strings or whatever, but the people with the money and the people with the real power are the ones that's behind the scenes, behind the camera. So that was definitely huge, man. That was really big for that time.
Yeah, the quote with Richie Vento. I got the exact quote right here on IMDb. Yeah, give me Hollycourt 55377. Hello, it's Daddy. Hey, darling, put Mom on the phone. Yeah, Barbara, it's Richie. Yeah, look it. I ain't never come
Yeah.
home no more.
Right.
Take it easy. You know, he say goodbye. He said, take it easy. Take it
Take
easy.
it easy.
Take it
Hang
easy.
up the phone.
And one more thing before I know he's saying one more thing before we move on, but one more thing for real this time. One more thing. Look at the soundtracks. Duke Ellington.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Duke Ellington. If you think about jazz and big bands, I'm a musician. Duke Ellington is enough said right there. That's all
That
it
is.
is.
Mhm.
Duke Ellington. Um, that that's just one of the classic movies. Now, I posted this on Facebook. I know you probably have time to think about it, but I just want to go ahead and just throw this at y'all now. If we had to remake this movie, which we shouldn't have to as a classic, but Hollywood can't come up with original ideas. And if Eddie Murphy want to put up his money and go ahead and redirect and direct this again, I would love to see it. I will watch it. Let's recast the main characters from the movie.
But if Eddie gonna put up more money, Eddie needs to play the part of Sugar, in my opinion.
There you
Yeah,
go. I agree with that.
he definitely had to play Sugar. I would say Kevin Hart would play Quick.
See, before we say quit, I got somebody on there who might be a conflict of interest to play Del character. It might be a hot mess when I say their name though. But go ahead, y'all, go ahead.
Let
No,
me
go ahead. Throw it out there.
yeah, throw that out there. Let me see what you.
It should be perfect for the role. Monique.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in
You're
my
right.
opinion,
I see that.
it's either Monique or it's Queen Latifah. One of the two. One of the
She'll
two.
she'll definitely be in charge of girls. She'll definitely be in
Yeah, I would say Monique.
Monique.
I would definitely say Monique. I would
That
ride
would
with
have to
that.
be Roscoe Jenkins Monique, not Precious Monique.
No, we don't need that one.
Yeah.
We don't need that person. That Monique. No, that was too traumatic. Right? We don't want that. But that'll be a perfect one. Now, so we got Eddie Murphy as Quick. No, as Sugar. We said Kevin Hart as Quick. Mike Epps. We don't want Mike Epps might work, but Kevin Hart would fit a lot better with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Monique is Della Reese. Who's gonna play Benny? Who gonna play Benny?
Would that be a Steve Harvey or a Cedric Entertainer role right there?
Probably the Cedric the Entertainer.
Say it.
Said
Yeah, say it. That's a good one, Ryan. Say it.
now
Definitely say it.
the person that should have been alive for this though. But Benny would have gave some mouth back. If this Benny, it'll be Bernie Mac would have been a perfect fit.
Oh yeah.
Bernie Mac would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. It even fit if you go back and look at Life. When you go back and look at the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, they little scene,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, that would have been so perfect right there. All right, so we got Bugsy Calhoun. Who we gonna get to play Bugsy? Will we go black on this role or we keep it in the same race?
Yeah, we had to pretty much keep it in the same race. Rest in peace to my boy. What's my guy Tony Soprano. James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have probably been a good one because he's already played that type of role before. Give me him. We had to exhume him, but I would love to see him in that role.
Who you thinking, Tony?
I don't know about that, but the cop, so I would say Michael Rappaport.
Ah,
I can't stand the cop. I can't stand Michael Rappaport.
Huh?
I can't stand Michael Rappaport.
Hey man, don't do that. Don't do that. That's my boy.
He your boy, but he's a complete jackhole. Ass Jack. Or jackass. Or ass mother blank. I know folks gave feedback from the show for Homecoming, but I'll talk about it in my partner shot. We'll some things you gotta cuss. Some things you just go ahead and
Absolutely.
just something.
This ain't the FCC, man. It's a podcast, man.
Yeah,
We gotta be us. We gotta come through.
he is a punk ass motherfucker.
You want me to stop cussing? Show me the money. For real.
We'll cut out all profanity.
I promise you I'll cut it out.
The comments on the Four Valley Boys do not reflect the views and standards of AutoZone, Hennessy, and BuyThatShirt.com. Let me put that disclaimer out there. So I need to put that on the ticker. So I make a ticker for that for Wednesday.
Yeah,
so,
make our disclaimers, man.
All right. So now we'll come to Sunshine a little bit later. She didn't have a big part. She was in like 3 scenes, if that many. But what about the Phil Cantone? Who would you cross? Would you still keep it as a Caucasian actor for this one? I think you have.
Because that name Cantone, once again, we talking about an Italian American. So I think, going back to the Sopranos thing, give me Michael Imperioli.
Yeah.
Michael Imperioli. I think he's played a cop before in a CBS show. So I think that will work well.
You know what?
Law and Order.
You know what? Boy, you didn't drop you doing your thing tonight, bro. Hey, the matter of fact, who could play Bugsy is the dude that's I can't think of his name right now, man.
What was he in?
He was on The Sopranos too. He played he on Blue Bloods now.
Oh,
but on the Sopranos,
he the assistant to Reagan. That who you talk about? The assistant.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull him up.
He played Tony's brother-in-law. He was Janice's husband.
Oh, okay.
I'm pulling up the cast now. Hold on one second. I'm gonna share the screen. Um, it's gonna be out the box when I'm thinking on this one.
But
But
he would play. He would have been a good Bugsy.
another, I mean, I need a dirty, grimy white person that I like. Somebody that could fit that role. I could Jeffrey Wright can pass for any race.
Yeah. He
Jeffrey Wright can pass for anything.
yeah, because he played a Puerto Rican in in
Yeah.
Shaft.
Steve Shapiro. Steve Shapiro. That's right. That's his name.
Okay.
That's his name.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jeffrey Jabbar. That's what I thought you were talking about. I'm gonna show you a picture of him.
They got, matter of fact, they got dope podcasts too. Steve Shapiro and Michael Imperioli. They got a dope podcast where they talk about the Sopranos.
Right here. This what I thought you were talking about right here. Garrett Moore. The person plays Garrett Moore.
Yeah,
Director Harlem.
nah,
That's what I thought you were
uh,
talking about.
nah. He down there. You you see it? Yeah,
Uh,
go down.
right here.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. He been on a couple things.
yeah, yeah. He been on a couple things.
It was,
Oh yeah. That's Big P.
Bobby.
Big P on on Sopranos.
Yeah,
No. That's the guy that's
yeah, oh, I remember his character. Oh, we can't talk about
yeah.
yeah,
that.
Bobby.
He was the guy that was Tony's
Brother-in-law.
Tony. No, it was actually his one of his yeah. He was his brother-in-law, but first he was just an assistant to Junior. The
Yeah,
assistant to Junior, yeah.
yeah. He was Junior's driver.
Yeah.
That's what he started out as Junior's driver.
Yeah, he be a good one. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anybody else that. Yeah, that's about what you could get right there. What I could think.
Yeah.
So, Stan Shaw, I would get a real boxer. Somebody like I don't know. I'd probably get somebody like maybe Bud Crawford or maybe Mike Tyson if you could get him. Well, he got tattooed.
Yeah, Mike
Yeah,
Tyson. Yeah,
you know,
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. That would be dope.
there's the guy that
Sunshine. You had to get somebody like Megan Thee Stallion or somebody
Megan
like
Thee
that.
Stallion, boy, what
Making
you
it.
gonna sit down?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the last one we're gonna recast is what about Jasmine God character? We can think about Jasmine God character.
So
Rihanna.
the young Rihanna
Yeah.
Rihanna.
or hear me now. Hear me now.
Rihanna, dude.
The young lady that's on Atlanta that plays
Sassy Beats.
yeah,
Yeah,
she would be good too.
Yeah.
She kind of
Yeah, she
reminds
would.
me of a young Jasmine guy.
yeah, I can see her. Yeah, Zazie Beats would be a good fit. Her, yeah, yeah, that's a good choice. Good choice. Especially at the Super Bowl, I would think Rihanna probably, Rihanna would be a good fit.
Yes.
Rihanna.
Yes.
This name is gonna be too much of a stretch right here, but she gonna cost too much, so I ain't gonna say Beyonce. So that'll be if you
Oh yeah, she wouldn't even do it.
she wouldn't do it. No.
She wouldn't even do it.
She could help with the soundtrack though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
could do
definitely
that.
happy with the soundtrack.
Yeah,
She could definitely
She
do
probably
that.
would. She probably would help with the soundtrack, but she done with that screen.
yeah.
You know, if she get a song, Jay got to get a song on the new soundtrack too, so it's gonna cost dough.
Now, if you do Harlem Nights, are you gonna keep it in the 20s, or are you gonna try to make it more modernized? Well, not 20s, but 30s, 40s.
I think you keep it where it is. I think the time is if it changes, I think you're telling a different story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I think you have to keep it where it is. And one of the things that Andre Benjamin and Antoine Patton, known as Outkast, when they did their movie Ottawa, which wasn't widely accepted, they did it recently and it worked. So I would think that would work too. I think it will work too.
That's it. Hey, that's another classic though.
Yeah, that's a
It
good one.
is.
That was that
That's
Decent
a
man.
to
great.
rewatch.
Idlewild was slept on, dude. That was classic.
Yes, it was slept on, but it was great, bro. And the music, we
Hmm.
know all the songs, but that man, Paula Patton, that's another one they could play.
Yeah, that's
Jasmine Guy
Jasmine Guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. You're right.
Yeah, so anybody out there on watching the show, just put in the chat or hit us on the Four Valley Boys page and just put your recasting ideas on there. Because, like I said, Eddie Murphy, if you watching this show, I know you're not, but if you're watching this show, hey, we want to help be producing the movie. We just want to a finder's fee or something like that for helping with the show. We don't recast your whole movie. We got your script, everything. Just shoot us a little cash.
look cash. Never heard anybody.
And my boy word, straight cash, homie, straight cash, straight cash.
Hmm.
Now, let me ask you this: if you were Netflix, would you put this into like a 10 episode show? Hollow Knight, you think it would fit as a 10 episode show?
It could possibly be, but that means every situation that we've talked about in the movie is stretched out to the fullest of capacity. I mean, I'm talking about even the first scene when the young quick comes in there. You know, that's half an episode. So you got to talk about Sugar and how he came up and how he got to be underground gambling in a gambling hall, underground gambling hall. So it's possible, but like I said, you got to take every single thing and you got to stretch it out. No different what they doing with Cobra Kai.
See, I couldn't get into Cobra Kai, but I mean, I'm still stuck on
Oh, that's
season
my
one
show.
till 10.
That's my show.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up. I still kind of follow along. But I don't know.
It's a dope show, dude. Because they found a way to bring everybody back.
Yes.
Everybody back. Everybody that's been in all the movies, man. They found a way to bring them back in some kind of capacity. It's dope.
Yeah, I know season 2, season 3, they supposed to bring back Chosen and Kamiko. Kamiko,
Yeah, Chosen back.
yeah,
Yeah,
Chosen back.
Chosen
she
back.
came back.
Yeah, he
She
got.
came back
Yeah, he
too
got. Yeah,
for a quick minute.
major. No, he had a major role in the last season that just
Yeah,
left.
he's still. Yeah, I haven't watched all of this season, but he's got he starts off episode 1. He does a
Hmm.
cameo to the first part of last season, and then this year he starts off like big time.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know this. I'm trying to think of anything else we missing before we move on. I can't. I'm thinking. I think we don't cover everything about the movie. That's that's the one thing I would like to know what the amount of the budget was. I'm gonna look. I just want to know how much Eddie actually put into his into the movie because I just want to know how much money he. It's like I'm pulling it up now. So his budget was $30 million. He made 95 million in the box office.
that's not bad return.
So no, hold on. It was North America. It debuted #1. It grossed 16 million from first 3 days. It went up to 60 million domestically.
Yeah. Cost 60 million.
Mhm. So he got some
Yeah,
money.
and just kind of like Ryan brought up, and we all agreed. the- It was considered a box office disappointment by the studio, though,
Of course, because they didn't make it.
compared to, what I'm saying, Coming to America and Beverly Hills Cop, and
Yeah,
all those other movies.
but that's Paramount though. You got to remember that's Paramount who Eddie was doing this for. And then you come up with all these hits, and then all of a sudden, I mean, you're entitled to one. He gave him one considered to be a flop, but
Oh,
in our community, we it's comedy gold, comedy
dude,
gold.
listen, and Cisco and Ebert had it on their list of one of the worst movies in 1989, man.
They're too critical, and they were always too critical to me anyway.
Yeah, they
They
want
just
to watch
stating that it was
cheese.
too, stating that it was racist, sexist, and badly directed.
Yeah, of course they're racist because you have white folks trying to take down a black business to just monopolize the whole. No, okay, never mind.
Wow.
Fellas, I'm gonna have to cut it short tonight. I am on 5%, gentlemen. Pick up next week. Let me know what it is, what we're talking about. I have enjoyed tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comments and about this particular subject tonight in the chat group. I will see you all next week.
All right, Ryan, we'll holler at you.
All right, Ryan.
All right, so yeah, but looking at it, Rotten Tomatoes got a real low score. Then Metacritic 3.9 out of 10, 25% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 36 reviews. Of course, like I said, this is a blackety black movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not gonna get the shine that it deserves. So
Not at all.
somehow won a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Screenplay, a Stinker's Bad Movie Award for Worst Picture. But it was nominated for Academy Award for Best Costume Design and Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Director. Worst Director for Eddie Murphy. Of course, like I said, I mean, folks gonna hate.
One of them, one of them things that got appreciated, you know, later on, man, didn't really get its due when it first came out.
Like I said, I loved it. There ain't too many black movies that I can say I don't like. I ain't gonna, I mean, there's only a few. Unfortunately, they're all by the same director.
Mm-hmm.
But we ain't gonna throw Tyler Perry under the bus. So we gonna leave that alone. But folks might love the Chitlin Circuit. But and Herbie Hancock, they did help with the music also. Herbie Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
So like Big Straw said, if you're still watching, put in the chat box. If you're watching this later on the stream, just go ahead and put in your in the just drop your thoughts in there. We'll post the question tomorrow on Four by the Boy page this week. How would you recast that movie if you recasted it? Would you recast it? I mean, like I said, Hollywood back for some ideas, and the ones they do come up with is terrible. But Tom, let me get your quick thoughts on some college football yesterday before we go. Give me a quick takeaway from yesterday.
I mean, obviously, you know, I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan, so I would have to start with the fighting for dear life in the Missouri game. I think I kind of got a little different take than what some people may possibly have. You know, I've seen a lot of Georgia fans on Facebook ranting and raving and fire top smoking. It amazes me how extreme people get, man, about stuff when they just had a bad game, man. But I must say they was on the road, they was in a hostile environment, and they found a way to win. All wins are not pretty. All wins are not blowouts. They found a way to fight through the adversity and get the W. Do I think they have some things that they can need to improve on? Absolutely. I saw that, in the Kent State game. Of course it was Kent State, and when you look at the score, you automatically think, oh, they handled their business. But I watched that game as I do all the games, and they wasn't hitting on all cylinders. So I don't know, if it's uh, uh, I don't know if it's because of them drinking the Kool-Aid, especially when they got the number one ranking, after they had pretty much started the season in such a dominating fashion and blowing everybody out. I don't know what the case may be, but I'm hoping that this woke them up and they, get back in the lab, get back to basics. Kirby Smart put his foot in their ass this week in practice and get them boys back on track.
Yeah, my quick takeaway, probably gonna go in detail on Wednesday, of course, is Alabama better not lose Bryce Young.
Oh yeah.
Even though I forgot the guy number 4 from Alabama. He showed some things on yesterday, but I think Nick Saban saw that I don't trust him throwing just yet.
Nah. he lost his shit when they got them at when they was they had got down by the goal line. This was when the game was real tight. This was before he broke out for that 70-yard run. But they had got down the goal line after a long run, but Buddy got tackled at like the 3-yard line or some shit. And then they first play, they threw a pass, and the pass got deflected and almost picked off. And you could see, you could read lips, and Say was on the sideline, run the fucking ball. He was pissed, dude, that they ain't even called a pass play in that situation. But no, I think Bryce Young will be all right, man. I think he's gonna be all right. I hadn't really heard anything
Sprained AC
other than the
joint.
sprained shoulder,
Yeah,
but no, I think he'll be all right. I don't think it was that serious.
yeah, that's gonna be a that, and the crazy thing is, if I'm the posters, I wouldn't have moved Alabama up to one. I wouldn't have.
I was cool with it. I was actually glad because we ain't played like shit. We ain't played like shit since we became #1. So I was actually glad.
Yeah, I would have left Georgia there. I would have. If anything, Alabama, you lost your quarterback, so I don't know if he's gonna be back. So I would have kept you at 2, maybe drop you down to 3, put Ohio State up there because they've been playing some good ball for the last ever
Yeah,
since that Notre Dame game.
yeah.
Of course, they're gonna play great ball until they play Georgia or Alabama. So just
Mm,
let you be real. When they
yeah.
play when they go to the NFL South, play somebody for the NFL South, they're gonna get their head busted wide open. But you got a partner shot for us tonight, or you good?
Yeah, actually I do. Um, I don't know. No, I'm gonna really keep it about something for the culture. Um, no, I was reading today. I actually kind of missed it. 'Cause I think it happened like about a week or so ago, where DJ Academics came out and said some very disrespectful uh, to many. As far depends on how you interpret it, but it definitely said some hurtful things and some things that really came out of his mouth and about Reginae Carter, and basically called her a bitch, and basically was talking about how she's in the hood niggas, and YF Lucci they caught a RICO charge, and how she didn't left him high and dry, and now she didn't downgraded to this ordinary Joe Blow, and like he was really just coming out of his mouth. So um I my issue and the reason I brought this up and the thing that bothered me is the fact that T.I. had to step up and basically call academics out, and basically made a post on live or whatever saying that he had reached out to academics and he wanted to talk to him man to man, whether it was on the phone or in person. So in hopes of discussing it and settling it, in a positive way. Uh, and of course, Reginae Mama Toya called out academics and was saying keep my daughter's name out your mouth and all of that. But what was glaring and what bothered me is, where was Wayne? Like, that's your daughter, dude. Like, where are you? Like, I didn't hear you come out in defense of your daughter. Um I didn't I mean, where were you? Like, I guess it's no beef or no anything that with that, because I think Lil Wayne just had his 40th birthday party last week, and there's this picture floating around with him and all his kids. And Reginae was there. So this was after the incident, actually, where he had his birthday party. So I guess there's no ill will or no nothing going on between them anyway that that we can see in the media or whatever. But no, it just really bothered me, man, that Ti. I know they're close. Um, I know that he considers Regina his niece, but no, it just really bothered me that that her mama and Ti, who not family, I don't care, how close you are, it's still not blood. was the one that was, coming to her defense in the public, man. And Wayne was nowhere to be found. I was just kind of shocked about that, man. Disappointed.
That's some crazy stuff. We just have to wait for the news outlets so we get any more details on that type of stuff, man. But that's Ti just sit down somewhere, Ti.
Yeah, Ti put his face on. He put his foot in anything, man. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But he always putting his nose in somebody in somebody else's business. Always, always, always.
the inequities of the diaspora of the. All right. Anyway, my quick shot. Probably going to talk about this again on Wednesday, but I miss homecoming this year. But I believe, just making an announcement. We're speaking it into existence, putting in the atmosphere. The Fort Valley Boys podcast will be live on campus during homecoming. So we will have a tent. Anybody would like to donate to us having a tent there, or we taking, of course, we're taking donations. We're not going to turn down any money. We're not going to turn down any equipment. We're not going to turn down any food. We're not going to turn down any adult beverages in the red cup. Not going to turn down. So just put it on the books. A year from now, we will be at Fort Valley's homecoming live on air. Rain, sleet, snow. If they let us in the studio, so they don't want to do that. They don't want it in the studio, so
That would be dope. That would be so dope.
we'll have MC. We'll have MC coming down do a student center party live while we on air. So
That would be so dope.
yeah, we'll talk about this more. But on one real tip before we get out of here tonight, we want to send our prayers and wishes to the folks affected by Hurricane Ian. I should have started off the show with that, but it's just Puerto Rico just keeps taking a beating. South Florida, South Carolina, the East Coast. Luckily, where I'm at, got spared. So just want to wish wishes out there to those folks. I know Tiny hit them and shot were down there in Miami. They said they hurricane built, so they had seen a hurricane that hit them hard since Andrew. So they really lucky. So they know how to deal with a hurricane because they're really in a hurricane alley right there because just could have been worse. We could have taken a grunt up in Georgia and we just kind of got lucky for taking a different route. But that's our show for tonight. That was our movie review from Harlem Nights, reminiscing on that. Of course, we could catch our show on Mondays, from Wednesdays and Sundays at 9 p.m. Maybe 9:05, but we'll make sure we're on time. That's one of the things that was told to us. When some guys are going reviews about our show, we'll discuss that on Wednesday. But we want to say thank you for watching, for taking the time out of your Sunday schedule. I know the Bucks and the Chiefs are playing right now, so me and Tony are gonna get back to that now. So we'll holler at y'all. We out.
Peace.